I am looking at this musical instrument, and you know what?
Hi, welcome to my lab. Today we'll tackle leftover of my previous project, though with Draculaura's head and Spectra body. Spectra's head and Draculaura's body hybrid I used last time for my old and young Mattel. If you didn't see this video, check it out. I left link in the description and cards. I've seen that you really like this repaint. She's my most viewed video so far, which makes me so happy and motivated to make new dolls. I hope that you like this one as well. Okay, since she is already bald and faceless for almost a year now, I jumped straight ahead to rerouting. I used this Frankenberry and
Truly Outrageous
hair color from the doll planet on Etsy. She has got already pink face, so I decided to make it even more pink. My inspiration for her is Pink Invisible Unicorn, which is, like its name suggests, pink and invisible at the same time. So her head will represent pink, which will fade with transparent spectra joints representing invisibility. However, I want to make it clear at the beginning. I am not making Pink Invisible Unicorn, even if she'll be really cool, but I am inspired by her color palette. So please don't be disappointed. After plugging all of her hair, I filled her head with generous amount of fabric fusion glue and left it dry for a week. Time for her outfit. I am making her super simple top out of the elastic. I am roughly measuring through her boobs, cutting it slightly shorter and sewing together. Easy peasy. Off camera, I prepared these bloomers using Moonlight's Jewels pattern, but in my mind this concept looked better. So instead of it, I make her pink shorts, which will match with her skin color. After trying them on Bloody Mary, my mannequin doll, I cut them even shorter and protected the corners from frying by burning them with tea candle. I did this to all corners except of bottom one because I wanted rough finish. After cutting the legs, crotch side was not looking right, so I glued seams with fabric glue for cleaner finish. Now I am going for her body. I am scrapping the rest of the factory paint from her lower arms and legs to expose their transparency. I am inspired here by Mr. Super Custom, who makes similar thing to his Laguna Blue repaint. It looks very rough now, but it will be better, I promise. She has got a lot of hair and glue inside of her head, which makes it very heavy. Her head is going back all the time and I'll keep it in my mind when I'll be repainting her. I protected her hair with cloth and sealed her with my DuraClear Ultra Matte Varnish. Then I started to apply to her bunch of pastels in various shades of pink and purple. As I mentioned at the beginning, I wanted her head to be very pink and body will be fading into transparency. I thought that it would make her interesting and somehow unify pink Draculaura head with white Spectra body. The execution of this concept was... could be better. I gave her also some yellow blush, which was an interesting choice. To be honest, I had many loose ideas on her and her final look is just a mix of everything. I am glad that I was blushing her head and body at the same time because it made her look more cohesive. When I was done with her body for now, I switched to her face. I started to sketch her features with my watercolor pencils. Since her head goes to the back all the time, I wanted her to look little on the down, so she'll be looking like she's starting from the high.
You pathetic creature.
In general, I was going for quite proud and mean face, and cutesy Draculaura mold wasn't helping me with it at all. I went very fast with darker colors of pastels because lighter ones didn't want it to build up at all. When I got this eye shape, I decided to go with strong makeup and dark deep blue eyeshadow. I was trying to build up some color on her eyes and sclera, and in the end I get this abomination. I took my lovely acrylic paints and I started to add some brightness to this dark mess. Much better. Everyone loves some
Sparkle.
So do I. I mixed dark purple paint with some mica powder and paint her lips with it. Next, I am adding some fuchsia to her waterline, which doesn't show very well on this dark background, so I am painting it over white, which I planned for her sclera, defining her eye shape. Using some sapphire paint, I am painting her eyeshadow, making it extra sparkly. With some light pink paint, I am giving her some highlights under her eyeballs, on Cupid bow and under her eyes. With light grey, I am giving some shadows to her sclera, making them look more three-dimensional. To give her some more color, I am mixing green paint with mica powder and applying it to her eyes. No more scare scream eyes. I defined them more with darker tones. As a last step, I painted her upper lash line and lower with lashes. I am not giving her upper lashes because she will have falsies. I prefer making lash line as a last step because it helps me make everything clear. To be honest, acrylics are my favorite step of each face up. Since I cannot use Mr. Super Clear, using pencils is real struggle and pain in the butt. I love when I am moving from this abomination to nice and clean face. I love how she looks now. My goal is to make a ghost fairy, another fairy to my doll collection, next to Tooth Fairy and Tilia the Forest Fairy. Since my fairies doesn't have real wings, but part of their outfits resemble wings, this ghost fairy will be also wingless. However, in her case, I am giving her tattoo wings, as well many other tattoos. On her chest, I sketched at first symbol of pink invisible unicorn, but I didn't like how it turned out, so I removed it later. The rest of her body I covered with swirly swirls. Not so original, but very me. You've seen this already on my channel. I mixed acrylic paint with tons of mica powders because I love sparkles, and I painted all swirly swirls on her body with it. You may see I made them mostly on the right side, her left, because I wanted to keep it asymmetrical. With the same pink paint I made few dots under her eyes and painted her lower lip. When I am coloring with pencils on paper, I usually make upper lip darker, and I wanted to add this detail also to my doll. I covered her transparent joints with DuraClear gloss varnish, bringing back its old shine. I love that tattoo on her leg is showing through. And this is how she looks with her hair. So cool! Her hair is so bright! Off camera I styled her hair. It was long and tedious process. I made her curls on the left, her right, to balance her design with tattoos on the opposite side. I decided to go for her with punk edgy look. And what real punk lady needs? A guitar! I took this glittery modeling clay, ignoring that it is technically expired, and started to sculpt a basic shape around the toothpick. All my fairies have got one, and this will be hers. When I am happy with the first layer, I baked it in oven accordingly to the instructions. It was very flat and fragile, so I started to build the body of the instrument. I used a different color of clay intentionally because I wanted some variety. Then I started to work on the back. I hid the toothpick and added some swirly swirls to match her tattoo design. Then I took armature wire and added some more details. It was quite hard because clay didn't want to stick to the metal very well. I should use liquid sculpey clay, but I didn't have it in my stash. I looked once more on the references to figure it out how to connect the strings, and I noticed that the back of the guitar is bulky, not front. So I took clay out of it, and then I realized that back part with swirly swirls can work as front because it is already flat, and this part which is planned as a front be back. I hope that it makes sense. In conclusion, I placed clay back in the place from which I took it, and I started to prepare place for strings at the swirly swirls side. After baking, I sanded the corners with nail buffers for nice smooth finish. Then I took some sewing twine and my teeny tiny super glue. I glued few twines on the bottom and waited until they will be fully cured. This is very important for glue to be fully cured, because now I can tighten the string and glue it to the rest of the bridges. That's why I use super glue, because it dries quickly and strong enough to keep twine in place. I did this with the rest of the strings. I recommend to use twine for strings of this kind of instrument for doll, because it is easier to work with than jewelry wire. I am looking now at this musical instrument, and you know what? It is a violin. Just after I finished, I realized that it is definitely not a guitar. Neck is too short for the guitar. Also, it has got 4 strings but 6 pecks. But in other hand, it is too big for the violin. It's guitarlin, okay? A magical instrument which fairies are using. Let's stay with it, right? We are almost done. Real edgy girl needs some bold piercing. And luckily, Off Crafts and Curious upload her video tutorial about making doll piercing, so inspired by her creations, and following her tutorial, I stabbed some needles in my doll's head. Good thing with liquid sealant is that it dries flexible on the vinyl, so I am not afraid to crack the face up. However, I rerouted her and load tons of glue to her neck, so her head is so hard. I had to cut and bend some needles to put them inside. On my references, I've seen some punk piercing with chains, so I added one as well. When I was with her face, I glued her false lashes using Elmer's glue. For some more detail, I added chains to her shorts and glued these nail decorations. Spikes would be better, but I had only those. Spectra has got chains on her hands and normally I hate them, but for this repaint I can accept them. I refreshed the paint with some silver acrylics and made some bracelets from the real chains. Much better. Okay, it looks like we have got everything, so it is time for assemble. Meet my ghost fairy. I named her Vanish. Yes, Vanish after this Vanish, because she is pink and partially transparent. Vanish was raised by Tilia, the forest fairy, and used to be very quiet like her. But once she went to the big city to visit some other fairies and she went wild. She fell in love with everything what she seen there and decided to become a punk rock star. She changed her wand into this guitarlin and started to make her dreams come true. Tilia is sad because she thought that Vanish will be cute flower fairy and live in forest with her, but she understands that Vanish is happier now, even if she doesn't appreciate her new style. If you ask for Tutti, she doesn't care. She was always making fun from Vanish name and they don't like each other very much. But Tutti very like new Vanish hairstyle. What do you think about my ghost fairy? Do you like her?
My favorite are these chains and that she is all pink. There is not too much pink in life. I hope you enjoy her. See you next time. Bye!